You caught a lot of criticism. Steph wins his 4th ring. He's Finals MVP finally. He's a 2-time MVP. He's regarded as the greatest shooter ever. And you said, after winning this 4th ring and winning the Finals MVP, that he solidifies himself as the greatest point guard. And you said that stone-faced as if Magic Johnson didn't exist, is not still here.
You know what happened? I went and watched Winning Time on HBO Max, and I watched It's Magic on Apple TV.
Yeah.
So I had knew about Magic, and I revered Magic. Sometimes we revere guys, and it works both ways. Sometimes we look too much into a guy, or we don't look enough into a guy.
Right.
So you can get both ways, where a guy will. And I don't want to mess up my words, but I got to see Magic's weaknesses.
Yeah.
Where I could never see him before.
Right.
And now I'm watching every little close thing, and I'm like, oh, okay. Now I'm seeing, his weaknesses. And I started watching on the Olympic Channel, the '92 Olympics.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I'm really watching everything. I'm looking for guys' weaknesses now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just watching that in depth, and when you're in the finals, you're looking for anything to get away from the finals. So I was really throwing myself and immersed into Magic.
Right.
So being able to break down his game from that, and then always, I know Steph's weaknesses.
Right.
I'm with him every day.
Right.
So just matching up things, everybody's been saying about him, and the teams Magic had with him, the team Steph had with him. Like Magic had, I think, a higher level of talent surrounding him.
Kareem's the top 3 player, no matter how you slice it.
And I think Magic had a guy he's gotten credit for how good he was, but I don't think people know how good James Worthy was.
Oh yeah.
James Worthy would be a great player in any and every era.
Oh yeah.
Which is rare.
Yes.
You know what, in football, where there's certain guys that their games don't translate.
Correct.
Magic had a few guys whose games would translate.
Right.
I think Cooper's game would translate, especially 3-and-D
3-and-D,
now.
yes.
You know what I'm
Absolutely,
saying? B. Scott game would translate because he was kind of a 3-and-D guy as well. You know what I'm saying? Vlade Divac was nice.
Yeah.
And this was early with him too.
Well, he was a big pass. He was a passing big man.
Right, which would be great right now. He'd be a poor man's Jokic, they would say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Magic had really great talent around him.
Yes.
And then, it's funny when they talk about Steph, they really like breaking down the weaknesses of the guys around him. They always want to talk about what Draymond can't do.
Right.
And they always forget about what he can do. And then Clay, they always try to call him one-dimensional. He's always been a great two-way player. Plus, he just had two injuries.
Yeah.
And you just said it. Wiz coming in because they try to say it was KD. And then Wiz coming in, Steph still do it. Then you got a young player in Poole. He was regarded as the worst draft in the draft.
Right.
The guy said that.
Yes.
The worst pick thus far in the draft. And Steph got this guy out here. He about to get $100 million. So I think I always was a fan of Jason Kidd. He's one of my favorite point guards. He always got his guys the max contract. So it ain't all the way about your number, but the guys, what they can do around you. Steph's done everything you can imaginably think of in terms of basketball, whether he's got the stats for himself, he's got the chips, and what he's done for his teammates. And on top of, Magic did it with the Lakers in terms of the valuation the Lakers had when he got in. Look at the valuation of the Warriors when they bought the team with Steph versus right now.
Right.
It's just astronomical. So, everybody wants to try to put different parameters on what makes you great. Well, he's checked off every box.
Is Steph really a point guard, considering that Draymond really runs the offense, or is he a 2 masquerading as a point? Because I think there are a lot of 2s. I think Dame Lillard, I think Ja, I think all these guys, Iggy, they're really 2s.
Okay, I like that.
They're really 2s masquerading.
So this is gonna sound off, but it's not. But Draymond's so smart, he just know where to throw the ball because he know them 2 killers gonna catch it and put it up. So I don't think his assists are inflated because most guys don't know where they like the ball, don't know how to get it to him, when to get it to him, what play to call. But Draymond is like a point guard out there, but
man, that dribble handoff that Draymond be doing,
where he run the other side and drop that thing off,
and then sometimes he'll like fake, he's gonna hand it off and then go dunk it. But he knows how to bounce it. He sees Steph coming, he'll bounce the ball. No Steph wanted a certain place. The way he can hit Clay, and they don't never have to break rhythm. That's an art. That comes from playing with someone for such a long period of time and knowing that person.
But I will say that David Lee was an all-star. I believe Steph was out there. So I do believe Steph has a great dynamic with his power forward.
Right.
And if you get a high IQ power forward, they're going to succeed. But when you get a power forward like Draymond, who's probably the top IQ guy in the NBA history, he's in that top 1%. It's a deadly combination.
Look, Steph, and this is what I say about athletes. They pretend I don't hear, I don't care, I don't care. They do care, and they do hear. And if they don't hear it, they got some homeboys that heard it. And if the homeboys didn't hear it, they got family members that heard it. But somehow it finds its way to get back. And Steph Curry made it a point to be known. I heard what y'all was saying. Don't think I didn't hear. Now, because y'all said I got the first one, okay, y'all didn't want to give me no credit. Y'all talking about I played bad. Iggy got the MVP. Fine, that's fine. The next two, I played unbelievable. KD got the MVP. He deserved those MVP. Yeah. But y'all make it seem like I was like a role player.
Yeah.
And so now, no KD, I did this. What y'all want to say now? What was he like behind the scenes? Because I know he was gloating. I mean, Steph, see, people love Steph. They say, oh, he's so, look at him, little 6'2" Steph. He's so cute and cuddly. And he thinking all the time, yeah, I told you, you know what.
Draymond opened my eyes one day, and I hope I don't get Draymond in trouble, but Draymond was spot on. Draymond watches closely. I'm watching closely. Another guy watching closely people don't really pay attention to is Kevon Looney. Kevon, 26 years old, been in the league 12 years, it seems like. You know what I'm saying? But quiet as kept, consistent-wise, Loon might have had the third best year for us.
Yeah.
You know, Steph, Wiggs, and, you know, Poole was nice, but he was a little inconsistent because he's young, but consistency, Loon was getting 4 points, 18 rebounds.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just saying, us three watching, and Draymond said it one day. He said, Steph like that. Don't get it twisted. Steph like that. Steph like that attention. But it's a competitor.
Yeah.
Competitor's attention, like, y'all think it's a game, huh?
Yeah.
Y'all think it's sweet. And we used to always say, like, guys think Steph's sweet, and they get on the court, and they're like, man, this light-skinned dude, I'm about to kill him. And before they know it, now all the guys in the league say the same thing. Like, I didn't know he was that good, but man, I look up and he had 30. But now guys know it. And then he getting the best of everybody every night.
Yeah.
You heard what my man from West Side Chicago said, Patrick Beverly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting the right meal. I'm in bed by 9:30. I done watched all the film. I got a big one tomorrow. I got to go get Steph Curry. Every night.
Yeah.
Every night. And he keep doing it. He been doing it.
Yeah.
And then this year before the injury, we got off to 18-1 start.
Right.
So it wasn't like it was a fluke. Like, oh, we about to really run it. We about to really run through y'all. So for him he's got that ego in him where he wants to all to know, like, I'm really one of them dudes. Right. 2010 World Championship was his coming out party, and then 2 NBA championships coming out of that. Yeah. And then I played with him in the Olympics 2012.
Right.
I'm pretty much undefeated with KD.
So, but you believe Steph is open to a reunion with Kevin Durant?
I haven't had that conversation with Steph, quite honestly. You know, I think
he's in a different place now.
We just been enjoying winning the league. I call this Money Heist. That show on Netflix.
Yeah.
Where everybody in the world know, man. It's just 8 people that just keep robbing us of everything. We see them coming. We know they about to come here and get it, and we can't stop them.
Right.
That's how I summed up this year. We start off 18-1, so y'all know we here. Y'all know this ain't no fluke.
Right.
And then we had a little slippage with some injuries, then playoffs start, and I'm like, and we looking like, oh, this sweet. We lock in, we gonna come get another one. Don't let us come get this one.
Right.
Because y'all know what's gonna happen if we come. Draymond gonna be Draymond, we come and get this one. Y'all don't like hearing Draymond.
Yeah, Draymond say y'all better not let me. But when you guys got when Steph and them got knocked out of the play in Memphis, he said we had some injuries. He said, but y'all better get us now, because y'all not gonna want to see us next year. He foretold of what was to come.
Yes. And I think it's funny because my first, when I signed with the Warriors 2013, and you do the press conference, you say what you're supposed to say. PC, I'm coming here to try to win a championship.
Right.
Nobody take you serious.
Right.
But I'm saying to myself, I think I've met the closest thing to Jesus Christ. Not to put that on him.
Right.
But I've never seen an individual, like he doesn't stray away from who he is in terms of who he is as a person. So you know what you're getting night in, night out. And I can see it. And so I'm thinking I'm about to go try to win a championship. And then we win a couple, and then he comes out and he says, y'all better get us now because we're coming back. I think y'all need to start taking Steph more serious when he's talking, because y'all just so used to him being the baby face killer, this nice kid.
Right.
You know, his faith is very strong. That faith is strong. That means that faith is real.
Yeah.
So what he's saying, he really believing, and thus far, it's all come true.
Before you play with him, did you realize how good Steph was? I mean, to watch it from a distance, you're like, damn, man, dude making all these shots. And then you get up close to him and you watch him in practice and you see the things that he does before he even stepped foot on the court. Did you realize Steph was this good? Like generational, like transcendent good?
Yeah, so when I saw him when he was younger, I saw his deficiencies. So I'm the type of basketball mind where I'm just looking for your flaws.
Right.
All right, what doesn't he do? And can he get better at what he doesn't do well? Like, can he get rid of those deficiencies? So early in Steph's career, Steph was thin.
Right.
And he would get beat up. And his Achilles heel was European guards, like the Rubios, Navarro from Spain, who we played in the World Championships, Dragic scoring Dragic. So, and they were like crafty and thin and they a little chippy. So they hit you below the belt a few times here and there and it might throw you off. And his handle wasn't always this tight.
Right.
Steph's handle wasn't always tight. He get loose with the ball. He always been loose with the ball with his turnovers.
Right.
And if you just watch Steph's progression, he's continued to get better. And that's the part people don't see. You know, they don't see us in the 5 a.m. working out, all the weights we pushing. You know, what's my man Harrison from the Steelers?
Yeah.
We seen him, but he had been doing that. You know, he ain't just get strong.
You're right.
Steph was the same way. He ain't just get, like, he had been working and building up.
Right.
And he's been progression year in, year out. Like this year, Loon and I will be on the bench saying, all right, it's a tight game late in the fourth. We need Steph to be like MJ. We need him to start picking the game apart. You know, we don't need Steph to shoot a half-court three or just pull up from three. We need to get to a midi. We just need a bucket. And he started getting to it.
Right.
He started getting in the paint, up and unders. You saw him flipping the ball like he was getting like
and that was
key
the thing,
buckets.
because early on is that let's run him off the three.
Right.
But he wanted to settle. Now Steph going off. Steph got a layup package. He got a float game. He's not afraid to go in there and mix it up with the big. So now with the three ball dropping and with his float game, he's unguardable.
Exactly. And you've never seen a 6'2" guy, 6'3" guy, a guy under 6'5" dominate the game the way he has. We've never seen that.
I mean, small guards. When I talk about guards, I mean Magic was different. Magic 6'9".
Right.
Magic was in the 50s and 60s, even early 70s. Magic would have been a 4 or 5,
right?
Let alone a point guard. But you have to go back to AI to look at a guy undersized dominate the game, and Steph just took it to it. I mean,
for this long, because you see Isaiah. Stockton had a long run. He just couldn't get over the hump.
Stockton couldn't dominate the game offensively. Stockton was mainly a passer.
I'm just talking about guys who did it for this long. Like AI had his run, but AI only really played 12 years in the league, 11 years in the league. In his last few years, he was bouncing around a little bit. Isaiah had the Achilles tear. His career really didn't last that long. Right. So you rarely see guys at that size really do it for this long. And they on a 7-8 year run. Him, Draymond, Clay. They really ran through the league. They disrupted a lot of things for a lot of guys.
I think what helped him is that early on he had the injuries. He probably got that bug out of there, and so now he's on a stretch now where he's about to be healthy for a few more years. You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button and become an official member of Club Shay Shay, where we do something before two something.